Why are there so many avoidants in the post-marriage ending dating world? I get asked this a lot. A lot of clients are experiencing a patterning of attracting emotionally unavailable or avoidant people. So they're emotionally distant, they can't process emotions, they don't want to have emotions, okay? So why is this? Well, there's a few factors here involved. It's always the anxious attacher, so somebody who is predominantly more of an anxious attacher that is identifying someone as being avoidant and seeing a problem with it. The second thing is that the avoidant person actually sees their lack of emotional reactivity and sensitivity as a positive attribute about themselves. So the avoidant person kind of sees them as more themselves as more emotionally stable because they don't have any emotions. Then they see the anxious attacher. The avoidant often views the anxious attacher as somebody who is just up and down, needy, all over the place, too much. And the avoidant sees themselves being more stable, actually. But actually, that's not true, as we know, is that the avoidant having no real desire to be emotionally attached or no real emotional shares is actually not in a better place. They're just in a repressed place, a closed place. You know, they are really shying away from their emotions because they don't like the feeling of being emotional and out of control, and they don't like the vulnerability that comes with it. The anxious attacher doesn't like to feel abandoned. They don't like to feel uncertainty, and so they are looking to the avoidant to fix what they have. So the reason why I bring this up is because actually there are as many anxious attachers, unhealed anxious attachers, as there are avoidants in the dating world. They are like magnets for one another. Okay, there are not enough people with secure attachment style predominantly in the dating world post a marriage ending. The majority are avoidant or they're anxious attachers. So we need more secure attachers. And so actually, what we must understand is that there are more avoidant and anxious attachers in the post-marriage ending dating world because that's why their marriage ended. Their marriage ended because they were emotionally avoidant and closed. And so it made them a magnet for a certain type of shallow emotional connection relationship. And they would have taken on behaviours that would have kept the relationship at that level. You know, so not having emotional discussions, not being emotionally connected, cheating, affairs, lies, all these things are what the avoidant does so that they can feel a degree of distance and emotional safety. But the anxious attacher, you know, their behaviour has also contributed to their own marriage ending, you know, by attaching themselves to somebody that they needed out of self-worth or validation because they didn't want to be on their own. The anxious attacher chooses a relationship based on their lack of self-worth and on their fears. And so that relationship was kind of destined to end for as long as you stayed an anxious attacher. And often those relationships end as soon as you step into more secure attachment as well, because those relationships tend to require you to have no self-worth or validate or no need for validation for them to continue. And so actually the secret ingredient, whether you're an avoidant or an anxious attacher, but particularly if you are an anxious attacher and you find yourself attracting avoidance, is that you must heal yourself and work on your conditioning and programming so that you can be of a more secure attachment style. Because if you treat an avoidant with your avoidance or your anxiety, you will cause an avoidant to run away. And if you treat an anxious attacher with more avoidance, you're only going to make them more anxious, which is going to make them reach out to you more, chase you more, attach to you more, which then just makes the avoidant run even further. And so somebody in this dynamic, okay, has to step into their secure attachment and do the work and heal themselves to be in a more secure attachment style. So regardless of the avoidant doing whatever they're doing, or regardless of the anxious person doing whatever they're doing, somebody in the partnership is standing still, secure, stable, zen, not triggered, and just behaving in the same way and feeling the same way in their nervous system, regardless of how the other person is behaving. Actually, the avoidant needs somebody in their secure attachment style to actually make them feel safe, to open up to love, to open up to their emotions. They need a secure attachment style. So if you are finding yourself dancing around an avoidant or forever attracting avoidance or emotionally unavailable people, understand this hasn't happened because their marriage has ended. Yes, maybe their marriage ending has worsened their avoidance, but actually they were always emotionally more avoidant than they were secure. And so you're dealing with somebody who has a habitual lifetime patterning of avoidance, not just a broken heart from their marriage having ended. And so your ability to regulate yourself, your nervous system, your triggers, your anxiety is everything to an avoidant learning how to lean into love, trust love, be vulnerable. And that is how we actually navigate the avoidant in the post-marriage ending dating world. Now, if this has resonated with you and you can see that you are more of an anxious attacher and that you need to step more into your secure attachment, because I don't really ever attract avoidance, because like I said, they tend to think they're fine. They tend to think they don't need me, even though they do, okay? But an anxious attacher will reach out to me because they recognise that I have some healing to do, and actually that's wonderful. So if this has resonated with you, please have a look at my links below. You are definitely best suited to my Rising Beyond Separation and Divorce program to heal that attachment style within yourself, or to my one-on-one coaching. I only coach men in a one-on-one style. I don't offer men here any coaching programs. I find men need one-on-one coaching more than they do a group program. You guys just have a little bit more of a tougher ego to crack, and you need my one-on-one in your face helping you do that. So, links below, have a browse. Any questions, you know you can always find me at carladacosta.com and hit the contact button on there and reach out with any of your inquiries.